Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh man, I just read that we're in Mercury retrograde. We need to be careful. All of my technology stuff happened last week, actually. All right, let me just share this stuff on my page, my business pages, as per usual. If you guys are coming on, please say hi. Hi guys, always see some new faces. Thanks guys. Okay. Just sharing to my business pages and then we can get on with this. Cool. Cool. Guys, hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Good afternoon, Juan. How are ya? All right. For everybody that's new, and it looks like we have some new people. Hold on, guys. I'm getting a call to sip my coffee. Who loves coffee as much as me? Seriously, it's like my thing. It's my vice. I don't drink alcohol, right? It's my vice. But sometimes I drink too much and I get insomnia. Which, by the way, guys, if you're looking for a way to cure insomnia or help you in a very holistic way, do a Epsom salt bath. Oh my gosh, I got one done on, well, it was actually the float tank. I talked about it on my Instagram, but, and if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's Justine_intuitive_coach. So watch my stories there. So, I actually did one and, a float tank, which is like you go in a tank. It wasn't as close, like I thought it was like more of like a pod, but it's actually not. It's like more of like a tank, and it's I had a little bit of a light on, but it's like Epsom salt, and then you are supposed to, you're supposed to float for like an hour. I didn't have a meditative experience, to be honest with you. I was not in the headspace, and also I'm really afraid of the dark. That is something about me. I did not get the full meditative experience, but I definitely got the experience of the Epsom salt, and it was amazing. I slept like a baby that night. I felt like my body was detoxing. I didn't even ingest it. It went through my skin, right? I soaked up on my skin. Oh my God, it's so good. The next apartment I'm getting a nice bathtub, and I'm going to do Epsom salt baths like all the time. Okay, anyway, I digress. So for all the new people, my name is Justine Leslie. I am an intuitive and spiritual coach. I help people empower their intuition to live a more aligned life. I help people help heal themselves, and I help people get spiritually connected in a way that feels good to them. So if you can see, there's a pattern of helping people feel good and live a life that's more aligned with them. And also create this life of emotional freedom, right? I've been talking about emotional freedom lately, and that's really, to me, that's the holy grail, right? That's where we want to be. I'm a big empathic supporter. I talk about, because that's linked to it, right? Because empaths absorb things like a sponge. We feel energy very deeply. So sometimes it's really, really hard to get to a place of emotional balance, so, and freedom. So I definitely work with empaths as well. So totally supporting that type of, as someone that I admire very, very much. She calls it a emotional archetype. So I am really into that. So today I actually just wanted to get on and just talk about, I talk a lot about the higher self, and what the higher self is the truth of who you are, right? And I learned about this 4 years ago when I started my journey, my spiritual awakening, and I did a lot of self-actualization work, right? Like, who am I really? That type of work, and realizing that there is two sides of yourself, right? We have the ego, which creates the fear, and then we have the higher self, which creates the love, and not even creates, right? We are love, right? It's just a state of being. It's just really who we are. So that's really who we are. But I want to talk today about who we're not, right? And this is a very interesting topic because I'm 31, soon to be 32, and I have gone through I guess you could say phases, right? Like in your life. And if anybody can relate, give me some likes or hearts. But, I have been through, I've been through a lot, right? I've been to 6 different colleges. I've been through a lot of different relationships. I've been with a lot of different people. I've been on a lot of different career paths, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if you really look back, I really wasn't following my intuition. I was just very confused. I had a lot of lack of clarity. Way more clarity now, obviously. I'm super intuitive, and I've learned to empower that part of myself, which is what I do, right? And you can too. Everybody can, right? We are all on this earth with this great gift called intuition. We all have it. It's a channel to the soul. Listen, right? Tune in. But what we're not is whatever the opposite of that is, right? And what we're not is the ego, right? We're constantly wrestling with the two, and I actually shared a video about this, like two I guess you can call it entities or parts of yourself or whatever it is, and whatever you feed grows, right? Because then people ask, like, which one is going to win? Whatever one you feed, right? And we should always be feeding our higher self. But when it comes to what we're not, and, not to say that these things are, like, super ego-based, but, like, for example, and this is why I'm doing the live, because I do have an example, and usually I do these lives when something, is very relevant to what's going on in my life. I had a friend say, I ate something. I was gluten-free, really strict for about 1.5 years. And I ate something with gluten, like, maybe 2 weeks ago. And my friend said these words. She said, "Oh, my God, this is so not like you." And it really made me think about what that actually meant, right? Like, so what is she saying? Is she saying that I am just someone, like, being gluten-free is who I am? I mean, it's something that I do, right? And then you kind of have to separate the two, right? So, because who you are is a being, right? Not a doing. So when somebody like that says something to you, it's really about a doing. And it made me feel bad. It made me feel a certain type of way. Give me likes or hearts if anybody has experienced something like that. Because it's like, you don't want them you don't want them identifying something like that with you. Sometimes people change their mind, guys. Like, that is something that happens. Or change their lifestyle. For me, moving to New York City did not help my gluten-free cause. I mean, if you've ever been here, the bagels are amazing. So, I mean, that's my story, right? That's my decision. And at the end of the day, I think what I'm really trying to say is we're always evolving. And I think it's important not to judge people when they're on this evolution, because something I really, really like to say is never say never. And what I mean by that is just, you just don't know. And as being someone that's intuitive, like myself, I really do believe that there are some things, and I do believe in psychics too, by the way, that if you stick on your path, a lot of psychics can pick up that energy, and then they could, not per se predict the future, because that's not really what they do, but they can sense an energy about you and read that, right? So, we're always evolving, and I think it's important not to judge people while they're, going on their journey, and just never saying never is like, anything is possible. And I really live that, what are your basic principles? And I think, I follow a lot of spiritual laws, pretty much all of them, right? And one of my core beliefs, which comes down to who you are, right? Like, who your being is really is involved in a lot of your core beliefs, is that anything can happen at any time. That nothing is guaranteed, anything is possible, and I just like to live my life that way, just knowing that. So there could be a day where I can go gluten-free again, guys. I mean, you just never know. I want it to actually get there, but obviously not want it enough, right, if I'm not there. But just to put that in perspective for you guys, that as long as you're grounded in the higher self, like, all the extra stuff is going to evolve all the time. And I think that's, like, what's super important is that, because I remember, like, going through the 6 different colleges and all my majors and all my jobs. Guys, I've had, like, over 60 jobs. Swear that's a true thing. Just really remembering that who you're grounded in and what you're core beliefs are, and just knowing the being and the higher self of who you are, and everything else is going to, on the surface, kind of change. Totally okay. Like if you were always a city person and then all of a sudden you're a country person, totally fine. You're just at that place in your life. You're on that path. And it's not really good to judge other people. It's not productive to judge other people, where they are, why they're changing their minds. People change their mind, right, guys? And I think at the end of the day with me is that, you know, when people are like, oh, you know, her spirituality is just, you know, another one of those jobs, or, you know, it's just another one of those phases. But guess what, guys? The core of who you are does not change. And that's kind of where I'm at as well. So, totally okay to change your mind, guys, without judgment. You know, and that includes not judging yourself, right? Like, you may be in a different place. I've always been a city person. There could be a day I wake up and be a country person, right? Like I gave the example before. You just never really know, and it's just really important to just go with the flow of what feels good. Listen to your intuition, and, you know, kind of fight off those feelings of, you know, judgment, guilt, all of that stuff. So you are not attached to these outside things, being gluten-free, being in the city, whatever your thing is, right? You are not attached to them. You're actually detached from them, and they are on the surface things that will change over time. And that's okay, right? Because, guys, we are here to evolve, right? That's the point. If you're not changing, what are you doing? You know? So, and that's what I always say to other people. And let me just tell you this too, and I'll end with this. A lot of people that tend to judge your decisions and you changing your mind and things like that are the ones that are the most fearful of change. So just remember that. Have compassion for these people if it's kind of annoying. I know in my instance, my friend didn't really mean it. I totally get it. But just keep that in mind, okay? So, okay, hopefully this was super helpful. It is helpful for me because I really like talking about things that are pretty relevant too, because I know if they're happening to me, they're happening to other people. So I want to jump on these lives and kind of talk it through. So hopefully that was helpful. Wow, this week went by quick. That's because I missed Tuesday because something was wrong with my eye, which I'm pretty sure, like, I'm moving, so like I moved stuff around. I got like dust in my eye, and it, like, I don't know what it did to my eye, but it has not been the same since then. So, anyway, fun fact, right? All right, cool, guys. I am off. I will see you next week. And enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.